Welcome everyone. Now you can't have a Wisconsin cheese video without tasting some of Wisconsin's best cheese. Now I'm gonna kind of glance over one cheese. I don't have it here on display, and that is the Rush Creek Reserve by Upland Cheese. Upland Cheese is in Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Now if you recall from the last video, what makes that cheese so special is that it's very limited and it only comes out one time a year. It's produced in the fall as the cow's diet changes from a summery grass diet to a more drier, wintry hay diet. That cheese is so amazing. It's rich, it's creamy, it's buttery, unctuous. It's the most delectable, wonderful cheese that you can have. Probably one of the best that Wisconsin produces. Now, moving on from that cheese, starting on your right, we have the Roth Grand Cru Sucroy. Roth cheese is in Monroe, Wisconsin. This is an Alpine style cheese, very similar to a Gruyere. So it's great for making fondue, grating. You can put it in a Mornay sauce. But in all honesty, it's really great just on its own on any cheese board. Let's try it. Now, when trying cheeses, it's always best to kind of let your cheeses come up to room temperature, because when they have that really cold chill from the refrigerator, kind of deadens the flavor. When you let it come up to temp, kind of really develops the flavor and you get the true idea of what the cheesemaker was trying to accomplish when making this cheese. Roth Grand Cru Sucroy. Here we go. Hope you don't get a lot of my smacking of the cheese. Probably not the most appetizing thing to hear. Really great. Very subtle, really nutty, salty, a little creamy, drier. Very good cheese. I thought it'd be kind of funny if I just tried all these cheeses and all I said was like, oh, that's really good. That's really good cheese. And that's it. I didn't divulge into any of the notes that I might have. But yes, delicious. Moving on down the line, we got Cervecche Parmesan. This is made by Sartori, which is located in Plymouth, Wisconsin. Now, I call it a Parmesan. It's not from Italy, so I know a lot of Italians might get a little upset by that statement, calling a cheese made here in Wisconsin, in America, Parmesan. But that being said, this is America's most highly decorated Parmesan. Pretty incredible if you think about it. Now, I'm not saying that this is better or as good as a Parmigiano Reggiano. I mean, that's considered probably one of the best cheeses in all of the world. So I'm not saying that by any means, so Italians, put your knives away, it's all good. But, this is a Parmesan, so it's a little saltier, it's crumblier, drier, great with dried cured meats, salamis, prosciutto, you name it. So let's give it a try. I did do a playback of the last cheese, and you can definitely hear me chewing, and it's pretty disgusting. So I'm gonna edit that out. Very good. Salty. When you're comparing it to like an actual Parmesan Reggiano, it doesn't have as much of that crystallization that you would get with an actual Parmesan, but it's a little bit softer, creamy, more subtle with the saltiness. I think it'd be a great substitute for Parmesan Reggiano. If you're at home making your own pastas, grate this over the top, and I think people would be very impressed or like it just about the same. Now, just straight up eating side by side, I think I'm gonna lean more towards the Parmesan Reggiano, but this still very good, and we should be very proud of this cheese. Next one, moving on to the Marieke Gouda. So Marieke Gouda is made in Thorpe, Wisconsin. Oh, these names probably sound made up. That's why I have to keep on referencing my notes. This is made in Thorpe, Wisconsin. I could not tell you where that is on the map. But anyways, this one specifically is a Marieke fenugreek Gouda. Now, fenugreek being more prevalent in Indian cuisine, it is a seed. It's known for having a maple syrup note to it. So lending that flavor to the cheese, the creaminess of the Gouda, it plays so well with a little bit of the saltiness and that sweetness coming through. Perfect for the cheese. Now, I chose to do the Marieke fenugreek Gouda because we actually sell this cheese at the restaurant I work at, and I absolutely love it. You ask anyone that works here, it's probably one of the favorite ones on our cheese plate. Let's give it a go. There is a little bit of a rind on this one, so I'm just gonna peel it off. Once again, when you let your cheese come up to room temperature, it's a lot easier to pull that off. You can really smell that fenugreek. It definitely has a maple syrup aroma to it. It's soft. It's creamy. It's so freaking good. The fenugreek just gives it that nice maple syrup note, and the creaminess of the cheese is incredible. Just kind of almost melts in your mouth. Kind of similar. I don't want to say like American cheese, but it's kind of like American cheese, how it melts in your mouth. Like if you just had a block of American cheese. Really good. I'm going to finish that one. This one you might be looking at and saying, what the heck is that? So this is a cave-aged cheddar, and it's been inoculated with a blue vein. So you can see on the rind, you got a little bit of, I guess, mold action from being aged in a cave. If you smell the rind, it smells like a cave. You know, a little bit of rock, mineral notes to it. Don't recommend eating the rind at all. But whatever else is that yellow orange tinge to the cheddar, so good. We also saw this one at the restaurant that I work at. Definitely a favorite among the staff. So let's try it. Now this is Ruli Red Rock from Ruli Cheese Haas in Schulzburg, Wisconsin. Super unique cheese. You can see that blue vein running through it. Here we go. It has that cheddar note, that cheddar creaminess to it. Rich. You get a little bit of that blue flavor to it like you would get with a blue cheese. Very subtle. You get that cave flavor too. You got some mineral notes on it. Super unique cheese, and a cheese that we as Wisconsinites should be very proud of. I think that completes our cheese tasting. I hope that this has opened a lot of people's eyes as to the amount of cheese options we have here in Wisconsin. We shouldn't be the butt of the joke. We'll accept it. But we make some pretty dang good cheese here in Wisconsin. I hope I opened your mind.